Finally, games are getting better again. I mean, for the last few years, so many mediocre titles were coming out. I honestly thought the industry was done for. But thankfully, last year surprised me with way more quality games than I expected. Just look at the Game of the Year nominees for the last Game Awards. Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Dispatch, Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, Blueprints, Megabong. And that's just from last year. Previous years were stacked too, with a lot of great games like Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, Alan Wake 2, Balatro, Mouthwashing, Immortality. The list goes on. And I don't know if you've noticed, but most of these games aren't your typical big-budget AAA titles. They are mostly indie games or AA games. You know, the games with actual soul, made by studios with smaller budgets and great vision. I am so glad these are the companies steering the ship now. Honestly, it feels so good to watch those massive corporations fail. You know, the ones always pushing microtransactions, forcing live service crap, and trying to figure out how to squeeze every penny out of the player. Watching them lose money and seeing their stupid anti-consumer games flop is just pure satisfaction for me. I mean, Unity's ex-CEO literally called devs who don't monetize their games fucking idiots, guys. He got fired later, sure, but that's just one example of how these greedy capitalists run the show. Making a good game isn't even on their radar. That's why I am rooting for the rise of indie games and return of AA games. Seriously though, all those massive budget games marketed as AAA have turned out to be trash lately. For God's sake, look at what these huge companies with all their experience and money have thrown at us recently. Concord, Sony's live service attempt, remember? It was so bad they shut it down 2 weeks after launch. It was a joke. Anyway, how about Redfall? Or that terrible Suicide Squad game? And what about the latest Battlefield and Call of Duty games? Or those copy-paste Ubisoft games? Veteran giants like Bethesda, Blizzard and Ubisoft have literally forgotten how to make good games. We got burned by so many companies we trusted. Meanwhile, the actual hits came from small studios we didn't expect. Like, I was waiting for Diablo 4 to be good, but Path of Exile stole the show. Heck, I enjoyed Diablo 2 Resurrected way more than Diablo 4. And don't even get me started on Starfield. Bethesda is a mess, but even PlayStation games have dropped the ball lately. Take God of War Ragnarok for example. It wasn't bad, okay, but it wasn't great either. It didn't hit the same as the first one. Neither the gameplay nor the story felt better than the first game. But for some reason a lot of people loved Ragnarok even more than God of War 2018. I could literally make a 2-hour video essay on why Ragnarok isn't a better game, but I don't have the time. Anyway, I think games had been getting worse since the late 2010s, and the reason is obvious, I think. Once gaming became a massive global economy, random rich investors jumped in and, excuse my French, they completely screwed the industry. They don't care about games. These companies are not run by gamers. They are run by CEOs and investors who don't know jack about gaming and only care about maximizing profits. That's why the market is flooded with uninspired copies. New and original ideas are only coming from indie studios now. So, games are getting good again, yes, but not thanks to the big market leaders. It's thanks to the AA and indie studios and their vision. Look at the last year's Game Awards. There's barely a single AAA game in any category. The lists are dominated by indie and AA titles. Thanks to these small studios and passionate creators, my hope for the industry has finally returned. So, thank you indie devs. So, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about this a little. Thank you for watching. Bye.